All right, everybody, welcome back to the Guardian Rebel Review. I'm glad about doing this video today, and it's about the Alien Earth TV series. I've been really anxious to watch this show, and the first episode didn't disappoint. Um, the show is created by Noah Hawley. For some of you guys who are not familiar with him, he worked on the Legion TV series, that X-Men show, and it was really good. I recommend checking that out if you guys get a chance. So once I heard that he was going to be working on this show, and with me being a fan of the Alien franchise, I was ecstatic, and I've been just dying to watch this show. So anyway, the first episode starts off pretty interesting. It's set in 2020. I'm sorry, 2120. Um, and so that's sometime after, like over 100 years after the events of Alien Prometheus was set in 2020. Sorry, not 2089. Excuse me, 2089. To give you guys an idea of where this show falls in the timeline. So the episode starts off like a typical uh, Alien film. And if you guys haven't watched the TV show, I'm going to be talking about spoilers. So, if you don't want to know what happens, don't listen to this video. So, anyway, the show starts off with the crew of the Manigat, and it's a deep space science vessel, and it's owned by the Weyland Utah Corporation. And you see the crew waking up from their cryo stasis, suspended animation. We've seen that a lot of alien movies. Um, and one of the crew members is a cyborg named Morrow, and he starts off. Apparently, he seems like a compassionate character, but then he seems compassionate anyway because he goes out of his way to protect one of his crew members by getting harassed by another crew member who's a pervert. He's doing weird stuff, so it kind of surprised me when you see him take a turn for the worse in the episode. But I'm gonna get more into that, and that's the moral character. So you also see a variety of alien specimens on the ship. I assume that they get exposed to the alien pathogen. I'm not sure if these specimens are from Earth or from other planets, but you see the face huggers, you see the chest busters, and you see some other creatures that look like they may have originated from Earth or were indigenous to Earth and maybe got exposed to the alien pathogen that the engineers created, the engineers that we saw in Prometheus. And they look mutated, and I guess they want to bring them back to Earth for study. At least that's what it seems like the goal of the Weyland Utah Corporation is. And the cyborg character is bent on achieving that goal. Um, and he also Morrow seems like to be second in charge of the crew. The captain is in charge of the ship, but Morrow is clearly second in command. So some other things that I noticed, I love the visuals and the foreshadowing. Like I was saying before, I like Howley's style of storytelling. Um, I also like how he puts the creepy background music in there, which creates a lot of suspense. It's very edgy because you like, makes you nervous about what's going to happen next. Um, and at that point, they switch over to the Prodigy group, and Prodigy is the name of another corporation on Earth. And there's like they think they mentioned like five corporations that are on Earth that are basically like competing for power and control, and they all are trying to outdo each other in terms of achieving uh, or finding more advanced technology, and therefore, once they get this technology, I guess they can wipe out their competitors. So anyway, Prodigy, they who switched to the Prodigy group on Earth, and it's ran by a character that they call the Boy Genius. He's like the world's youngest trillionaire. He started Prodigy. I guess he developed the technology to create the synthetics, and we see them on the episode transfer. There's a group of sick children that they call the Lost Boys. They're a bunch of sick children, and they take these children because they're dying, they're terminally ill. They transfer their consciousness into synth bodies, and it's like a huge experiment for these guys. So they seem to be really excited about doing it to see how the human minds react in these synthetic bodies, and they also call them hybrids, by the way. Um, then we switch back tomorrow. He sabotages the ship and sacrifices the crew. Um, and he does this to ensure that the specimens get to Earth, so he can get the specimens to his superiors at the Wayland Utah Corporation. He keeps when every time he contacts them in an episode, he says mother, and mother, I guess, is the computer system or AI that connects him to the Wayland Utah HQ. And like I said before, I thought it was kind of strange how he showed compassion for that one crew member, protecting her from that stalker, that sexual predators on the crew, and then the next minute he sacrifices the entire crew anyway. So sabotages the ship. It crashes on Earth, and it crashes into a giant apartment building, a tower, and it lands in Prodigy's territory. So they technically have control, and they have access to the ship. And the boy Genius wants to get see he dispatches a search and rescue crew to not only help survivors or find survivors, but to get his hands on the ship, the crew, and the specimens. To him, obviously, that's the priority. And he sends his search and rescue team there. And each and every one of these corporations has their own like military force, and the group that Prodigy sends, they send a evac crew with a medic in that crew, and the medic happens to be the brother of one of the hybrids, Wendy's brother. So Wendy, who's like one of the main characters in the show, she is one of the hybrids, one of the children who had their conscience transferred into a synthetic body. She also has control or the ability to manipulate technology. So she finds out by looking through camera footage that her brother is working on their search and rescue crew to retrieve what's on that Wayland, Utah deep space vessel that crashes. So she convinces the boy Genius to send her and the other hybrids or Lost Boys to the crew. I'm sorry, to the crash site. And Morrow is obviously he's the only survivor, and I'm assuming that's by design, which isn't strange once we see what the character's been up to. So they send the hybrids in there to assist, even though they're untrained and lack experience, and they're still children mentally. They have capabilities that normal humans don't have because they're in synthetic bodies. So they're faster, they're stronger, they have quicker reflexes. So it makes sense to send them in there because a normal human we obviously get slaughtered by one of the xenomorphs, and we also, which is pretty cool during the episode, you see the xenomorphs, creeping around and lurking in the background. The xenomorphs, you see signs that the face huggers are around and the chest busters, and you see some of those other specimens that I mentioned that aren't xenomorphs or chest busters or face huggers. They, like I said, they look like they're some type of creatures or animals from Earth that were exposed to the alien pathogen. And one other thing that happens before the episode ends, Morrow captures and detains two soldiers on the Prodigy crew, and he purposely allows them to get exposed to one of those specimens that seemed like I don't know, some type of space leeches, and that scene was really creepy. And he continues his mission to find the rest of the specimens for his superiors at the Wayland Utah Corporation. So that's pretty much what happens in the first episode. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was great. You guys should definitely check it out. I think the show has a whole lot to offer. The visuals are great. The special effects are great, and I like the style of storytelling. So make sure you guys check it out. That's it. That's all I have for this first video on the first episode. I'm gonna make a follow-up video on the second episode really soon. Be sure to like, comment, and share and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys later. I'm out.